on this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
There is no weapon forged by man that can slay me. What is that?
After dealing with some extraplanar book lizards.
You guys were in the Asynchronous Archives looking through the different revisions of Logic of Design, trying to figure out what bits of teaching and whatever that Kosowana had latched onto or could have latched onto. And as you were researching, these like crocodile, snake rune lizards jumped out and attacked
Crocodiles?
The Outlaws take a minute to recover.
I feel like Psycheer saw Eleanor go down and was like, not today.
No, not today.
Not this
I just replaced these hands.
MVP.
I just replaced these hands.
Before digging deeper into the Asynchronous Archives.
Find a series of articles penned by a researcher using the pseudonym the 13th Ordinal. These articles suggest that the goddess Bri is actually a clockwork creation disguising her true divinity, which is beyond the comprehension of mere mortals.
The investigation continues.
Arm?
No.
Please?
Not unless you say spank me, Psycheer.
It's Spank Me Sack here.
Holy shit.
Listen, I'm hurt.
Now.
Ah, man. Nothing says we're starting book 2 hot. Like taking Kat's new character down to dying
Dying
in the first combat.
3.
The panic I felt inside.
Oh, you
The
had
panic.
hero points. You didn't have any persistent damage.
You guys know I have a track record of not being able to roll
live
death saves.
forever.
Chester got down to 3 HP.
Oh, man. This big red die that I have has killed people.
Who? Big Kitty,
Big Kitty.
Drender,
Yep.
Noom,
Alonzo.
and Alonso. Not Alonso, my precious baby boy.
I killed a man. My players are telling me that I should switch die away from
That
the big red
die?
one.
Big Red has too much blood.
Too much
blood.
I love the jumbo die. I have a bunch of other dice here that I've used. The GCP metal die is very obviously weighted. I've used it before, and I can tell it's weighted because I get like 8s on it all the time. It's like 8 and 16.
8 is good.
I know, but like I like
16 is good.
variation. If I don't like getting the same results over again. I don't like the smaller dies. I like the bigger ones
You sure do.
because they roll really good in my box. You look at that 3. Although this thing will be really cold and then come out of nowhere just with blood in its eyes. It's like what is the thing in 40K? The like thing that makes the blood angels go mad.
Blood? Oh,
That toaster. It's Horus.
The blood rage.
Kill it. Yeah.
Like, I think consistently, Derek and I use the same dice more often. Like, my good old purple, Al died, but purple's rolled me a lot of crits.
Maybe I should use this nice metal die Drow got for me. It gets caught in the little felt in my box, and it's hard to read, but maybe I should switch it up. Someone else needs a chance to kill.
I'd love to critical an enemy. I haven't done it in so long, it feels like.
It's harder in this.
It's going to be plants, blood.
Shut the fuck up.
I think I even rolled some natural 20s
At
in
least
between
you
episodes.
pass your death saves.
I feel like it should be easier to crit because if you get a natural 20 and it still hits, it's a crit.
Yeah.
Versus in 1E, if you get a natural 20, you've only critical threatened and you have to do the whole roll to confirm and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Then again, you can have wider crit range.
Yeah, you can have a much wider crit range in
But you still have to be able to hit with that roll.
Yeah, but
yeah,
like
but
if
you typically, if you roll a 14, you're usually going to hit anyway. Typically.
Yeah, and in this game, like if you roll a natural 20, it's basically a crit unless it's your last attack.
And even then.
They're looking at me suspiciously.
Yeah, because of the tail flip. I got tail smacked into from a nat crit,
Yeah, you
natural, a critical, and went down with 2 hit points over what I needed.
I really want to try another die, but I just love this little red demon so much. I need a little
Evil.
throne to put him on.
That one. I'm getting one of those soon.
I need to give you a little throne to put him on. My die might be too big for your dice throne.
Probably.
I need a dunce cap for mine.
Well, how do you like playing Eleanor? This is your first chance to show off her abilities.
Yeah, I didn't mention her. If the listeners haven't figured out yet why the key use of the word panache,
Yep.
Eleanor is a swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler.
Buck Swashler.
It wasn't that I didn't want to play something very different, but that I feel like there were so many things I didn't get to do with a dex-based character. And
Yeah.
then when I started looking at the swashbuckler special abilities, it just made me happy.
A lot of them overlap with some of the rogue's abilities, or at least with the way Alonzo was built.
Yeah, it overlaps a lot. So I kind of like the fact that you consider that they were a pair. They have similar abilities. They could have learned things from each other, you know? She has like insane abilities. They after you, instant panache, don't roll for initiative.
That's really big.
She can get panache by creating a diversion or fainting or by doing something really cool with a DC 24. So if I said I wanted to flip off of a table, if I got a DC 24, technically if you thought that was cool enough as the DM, I could get panache doing that.
Yeah. I like that in this game because we've played 1E a lot, and one of the shows I've listened to had a swashbuckler in it in 1E. And in 1E, swashbuckler was a hybrid class because there's a lot of classes in 1E. It was a hybrid between gunslinger and fighter.
Yep.
It was funny because, if you don't mind me spoiling this for the audience, the other two classes I know you were deeply considering was fighter and gunslinger. And that's what made me suggest looking at swashbuckler.
Can I mention the name of the fighter? I
Yeah.
hadn't built a backstory or anything, so the name of the fighter was Al's Dead.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And I was like, yo, Derek, I need you to give me the second level archetype thing.
Yeah.
And then I wait for you to click it on and I look for my fighter. And you go, ha, his name is Al's Dead.
Oh, man.
Al's dead.
Yeah, but
Took such good care of him, and that bitch died.
in this game, instead of in 1E, panache was like a pool of like a resource pool.
Here you have it or you don't.
Yeah, and you could get it back by, I think, bringing an enemy to 0 because it was based off of the way grit worked for gunslingers in 1E.
Yep.
So it's like if you took someone to 0, you got some panache back. If you did something cool,
If you crit.
It would
got
be
panache
nice
back
for
if you
that
crit,
to be
yeah.
a case in Pathfinder 2E.
Well, but you also have.
Well, no, I mean to just have that as an extra way to get panache.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But the thing is,
There's so many ways to get it.
in 1E though, you had to spend points for stuff. So
I like it being have or don't.
yeah, you had like a lot to like spend and lose, and there was a lot to keep up with. Yeah, and this one it's nice. You either have panache or you don't. That's so much nicer. So basically, it looks like the way the game works for you is you get panache probably with an action. You make an attack, and you probably use your finisher, which will be the only attack you do, but you get to add your precision, and then spend another action to move or something.
The other cool thing I like, and it didn't happen in any of them, is if I'm doing a finisher, I can still do damage even on the failure.
Yeah.
Which is why I've been using the finisher every time.
You said your panache had a DC next to it.
DC 24 if you want to do something like extra beyond.
Yeah, it says, because it gives you, it's when you do your tumble through, and then another action determined by your style, which is the little thing that makes your swashbuckler different than others.
Subclass.
But at the GM's discretion, after succeeding at a check to perform a particularly daring action, such as swinging from a chandelier or sliding
That's what
down
I
a
said.
drapery.
Do a backflip off a table.
Yeah. And it gives you it actually gives you a DC for that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if I want to do something out of the box because of the scenario, I'm going to be like, I roll a DC 24.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Cool.
Though with a plus 13 to acrobatics, I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything that doesn't have to do with acrobatics.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The ability you took to where the free action after you, where you just automatically go last in initiative, but start with panache.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
it does leave you potentially flat-footed.
Well, you're not. Well, yeah, unless if someone rolled stealth for initiative, I guess.
Well, I mean, yes, it would potentially leave you flat-footed against someone who's got stealth. It does, leave you open to every single attack happening before you can move.
Yeah.
But that makes it daring.
It's a risk.
Yeah. Also, we haven't talked about your free archetype. Because I believe your free archetype was the acrobat.
Yeah, I didn't go with something that fit the thing. It was like, hey, Derek, can I? Well, I wasn't smart enough. They're not an intelligence class, and I didn't have the intelligence for it. So I was like, can I just be an acrobat?
I mean, yeah, it's funny though, because we were having a
I
discussion.
couldn't be an alchemist. I wasn't smart enough.
We were having this talk before about how you from acrobat by default get circus lore.
Yes. And Derek was a kind and merciful DM and allowed me to eliminate circus lore for Alkenstar lore. The day we fight clowns, I'm going to be very upset.
Maybe Eleanor rivets or puts together high-rise buildings and has to, balance, like in those like pictures from the 30s of people working way up high.
Eat your lunch on a steel beam, 300 feet in the air.
Yep.
There's a job.
There's a job.
There's a job.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But playing her's been fun. I just was really, really, really nervous when she went down in her first combat.
I'm excited.
Okay. We're going to get a few episodes out of her, and then I'm going to get to draw another character.
I don't want to force you to do more art.
Maybe
or
next
me to
Chester
do more
will
work.
die.
Do you know how much work
will die?
You know how much work I put in
I know.
to Al's death and then building Eleanor?
Oh yeah, no. If
a lot of work.
If Eleanor dies, I imagine you're just going to play Blelenor.
Eleanor.
I mean, I guess I could pick up Al's dead, the fighter.
Yeah. I like Eleanor. I like Swashbuckler, and I'm excited to see it pop off more in 2E. And I cannot believe, out of all the attacks with my -10, multiple
Stupid
attack
last
penalty,
tail attack.
natural 20. And it's so close. We were talking off air. Kat has vowed to pick up a buckler now, because that could be one of your third actions is raise your shield to get a +1.
I can't attack after a finisher.
Yeah. So
I also found it interesting. I asked when I was building Eleanor, it's like, is Swashbuckler going to be Alkenstar yeehaw enough for the campaign? And you just told me to go with it.
Listen,
Yeah, don't worry about
Yeehaw isn't about your class. Yeehaw is about your heart.
Nah,
Okay.
she's too fancy for that.
Pirates, cowboys, and samurais are the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And listen, Chester can't die until July 2023.
Because that's
And
when
once that comes around, Chester's gone one way or another.
just
Because
gone.
Jacob wants to play
Get out of here,
kineticist.
Chester.
Jacob
We'll play kineticist.
has his eyes on the kineticist. Jacob saw the tweet from one of the Paizo devs that they had to add more space for the kineticist in the book.
Yes.
Jacob has a love affair with the
Listen,
class
if-
kineticist.
Kineticist is not the
my
most complicated class. Something is wrong.
Somewhat like I do for rogues.
Oh, yeah.
I just like to play the sneaky boy.
I like playing casters. That's just it.
Simple as.
Simple as.
You require the use
actually-
of magic or it's not entertaining.
It's actually shockingly really nice how we have our favorites and they tend to work out for a good party. Skill Monkey, Caster, Bash.
Yeah, typically.
I just swapped out for Bash and you have Skill Monkey.
I do love me a good just barbarian or
You really do.
just nice damage.
Lots of options to choose from when you attack. No, thank you.
No.
I want roll to hit.
Let me smack.
Let me smack.
Let me smack.
Let me smash.
Please.
Becky liked my tail.
I've been talking to Jacob about 2E, and I miss playing 1E because it's also been almost.
I don't.
It's been almost what, a year, 2 years?
2E all the way, baby.
I can't remember when we ended Hawthorne. It's been a hot minute since I played 1E. But as a GM, I don't miss running 1E that much.
I understand that. I get
'Cause
that.
I think I'd like to run it. If I wasn't doing a podcast, I'd have fun running it. But there's so much fiddling I would do, even playing linear adventure paths, to make some of the combats not be a pushover for you guys or make some of them interesting. And I don't have to do any of that work in 2E. I just occasionally have to reduce the amount of hit points an enemy has because you're only 3 people.
Yeah.
And it just kind of works on its own. And I've been really, really enjoying that. Do you guys miss 1E at all?
Yes.
I already stated my opinion. 2E all the way. I could not look back and be perfectly fine.
The longer 2E comes out, the more I'll like it. I like 1E because of the sheer number of options.
Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
you
and
would.
the really fun way you can mix classes together
Yeah.
and just do some really creative things.
I figured you would miss 1E mostly because in 2E, you basically don't ever get anything that gives you bonuses to hit outside of a circumstance.
It can be a little annoying, but hey, that's all right. That's okay. I like the creativity that I can have more creativity in 1E than 2E right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find the trap options and the min-maxing to be the most exciting part to me. That's disheartening to me because it can sound cool on the page, and then you gotta go look up a guide to find out it's crap.
Yeah.
That's not good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I feel like trap options, I mean, they don't exist as traps really in 2E because it's been so long that that's not really a design philosophy anymore. But there are definitely options that aren't as useful as others.
Yeah.
But because of the way the math works, it's not like you're ever going to be screwed over unless you just make something really bad for an adventure. But that's up to your GM anyway. So,
and I'll just say it: action economy perfected.
Well, action economy is perfect in 2E.
So good.
If you could take the action
Italian
economy
finger pinch
and like shove it into 1E, that'd be a perfect game for me.
For those who don't know, not played 1E Pathfinder or D&D 3.5, the way it worked is you had a move action, a standard action, and a swift action each round.
Very similar
and
to 5E.
there were bonus actions.
That's 5E. Bonus action is 5E.
Which is the equivalent of
which
the
was the swift action?
Yeah.
Free actions.
I've played way too many game systems.
Well, because even 5E has free actions.
But in 1E, you could spend your standard action and instead use a movement action.
Yeah.
Or you could spend basically your movement standard action to do a full round action.
Yeah.
But then there was also the free action 5-foot step. But if you took a 5-foot step, you couldn't do a move. You couldn't move.
You couldn't move. You could do a
use
movement action.
It was called like move equivalent action. And then if you also had an immediate action that you could use outside your turn.
That's what I meant instead of bonus.
But if you did that, you couldn't use your swift action on your next turn.
Yeah, we home ruled that you get an immediate and a swift because it was
made it a
so
lot simpler.
hard to keep up with. Yeah, the action economy, I made a chart for teaching it to people, and it was still just really hard to get a hold of.
A lot of the times, they end up kind of equaling out between the systems.
Yeah.
But explaining 1E actions and explaining 2E actions, it's so much easier to explain 2E.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there's the trait system, which makes a lot of like common rules very easy to find. Because I was saying as a 1E GM, besides the whole combat and counterbalancing being a lot more on the GM to handle, it was better than 5E, but it was still rough. Whenever we would stop to look up rules in 1E, it would take twice as long on average.
Oh my goodness.
Than
You'd
it would.
sit there on Reddit for half the game waiting for the turn with the rules.
Yeah, I can get 99% of what I need out of Archive of Nethys, and the only times we've really hit some weird stuff is whenever I have a 1E is I'm like, oh, if I miss with a melee spell attack, do I still hold the spell? That's an old thing that just doesn't exist. You just lose it. So, oh man. But yeah, I'm loving this game system. As a GM, like if I had to pick a new D20 fantasy game right now to just run ad infinitum, it'd be this one. I obviously want to finish the stuff I've done before, but I love me some 2E. Would I want to convert 1E stuff to 2E? No.
Let somebody else do that.
Someone else can do that.
It's really hard to do that too, because really in essence, they're two completely different. They're both D20, but they're two completely different
games. They don't
games.
work the same at all.
2E isn't the improved 1E. It's just a separate game.
It's honestly, a lot of people compare it mechanically to 4E. I don't know enough about 4E to say if that's apt or not. But I think the way it works with kind of the math being somewhat fixed by level is really smart. And then the customization being more like situational stuff and how you spend actions is also really smart. The main thing that I missed that I think Jacob was hitting at is in 1E, multi-classing was really cool. Multi-classing and prestige classing, because it was like layering things on top of each other. And it was a lot of fun. And archetypes you could do too. And like it was really cool. With this thing, multi-classing is archetypes. And it's a lot more structured. But at the same time, if you use the free archetype rule like we are, then you can kind of get a lot of the benefit without having to sacrifice stuff.
You know,
That's true.
I miss being able to multi-class in the 1E way as well.
It is 2E simplifies a lot, but sometimes it feels like in the process, it just takes away some of your
lost some
options.
stuff, yeah.
If I had to actually give one complaint between the two, I would say that I liked in 1E, typically when you leveled up, you always felt like you got something neat.
Yeah.
In 2E, I do not always feel that way because you get your class feats every even level. And with the alternate archetype, you still only get that every even level too.
Right.
So every even level, you get some cool stuff and a lot of it. But every odd level, you're not
You're just
guaranteed to
getting
get
HP.
something that feels great. You can get a skill feat. Don't get me wrong. Those can do some cool things, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So it's a small complaint.
It does
But-
depend on the style you like to play.
Yeah.
Because if you're someone like me who gets easily overwhelmed by a ginormous abundance of options,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
this is a lot easier to take in and feel confident about what you're playing.
Yeah.
Well, it's also when we started playing Pathfinder 1E from 3.5 was late 2016. And at that point in Pathfinder 1E's life, it had been out for a long time. It was only had 3 more years of support.
Yeah.
I think only one or two more big rule books came out for it. It was one more. It was Ultimate Wilderness, I think, was the last rule book. So we went into that, and there was already a labyrinth of options. At this point, even in 2023, when we're recording this game's only really been out 4 years. So it's the equivalent of...
Holy shit, Pathfinder 2nd Edition has been out for 4 years?
Yeah, we didn't play it for the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like at this point in time, I think in 1E's life, it was just starting to get like... We're in the same, like a year past when it would have gotten Ultimate Combat, which was like the gun book, which came out last year, oddly enough. So like we're at a point where we can kind of keep everything in our head for it. And the new stuff comes out in a trickle because it's not all at once jumping into a new system. So it doesn't feel as overwhelming because there was a smaller pool of things to start with. But
I think my biggest hope for is for 2E is that they'll keep releasing the like the muses for the bard or the styles for the swashbuckler, because if they keep adding those different things that make your character different from the other characters of the same type,
subclasses, basically.
you'll just get more and more options, and that'll be neat.
Or more and more archetypes.
More and more archetypes. Yeah, that's what it's.
I think that's the way they're going because they have been releasing 2 to 3 classes a year for the past few years.
Yeah.
Between Advanced Player's Guide, Guns and Gears, Dark Archive, etc.
Yeah.
Secrets of Magic.
They also aren't getting rid of all of their books, Wizards of the Coast.
Oh boy, that's a whole new banter just about.
Man. Yeah, well, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, things have changed. But yeah, at the time of recording, we're in the midst of the OGL kerfuffle.
Yeah, we're in the midst of, there are a lot of fairly reliable rumors, but nothing is certain yet.
Yeah, who knows what's going to go on with
Who
that.
knows? Yeah.
No, it's the players who are wrong.
Jeez, I can't help though. We're deep into the banter at this point, but and then on the note of the Wizard of the Coast OGL kerfuffle that's going on in early January 2023, I cannot help but remark at how fucking similar it feels to 4E, which I didn't play through, but like the big kerfuffle around 4E from like third-party publishing was that they switched from OGL to GSL, Game System License, which was a lot more restrictive, and basically cut out a bunch of third-party publishers that had grown up with D&D through
Like Paizo.
Yeah, 3E and 3.5.
Yeah, that's where...
And Paizo was the worst because Paizo was publishing Dragon Magazine, and they switched the license for 4E and canceled Paizo's publishing thing for Dragon Magazine. So...
Dragazine, if you will.
So Paizo
Dragazine, I
decided
like
to do
that.
their own thing.
Yeah. All that to say, if you have come over to Pathfinder and are listening to this podcast because you want to hear people play Pathfinder and you came from 5e, welcome aboard.
Welcome, spurned 5e former players.
We love 5e, by the way. We think
Yes.
5e is great. It's just the people who make 5e don't make great decisions at
It's
this point in time.
Hasbro. It's a
You can have
soulless company.
You can have a fun game, and people who make it are not great.
One thing
D&D is owned by Hasbro, and they have not given me an official My Little Pony character class.
Oh my God.
You know what? You're right.
The one thing I have against 5e is like whenever we've gotten into other games, there's all this like wealth of content and choices. even in 2E. And then whenever I got into 5E for the first time, I was like, cool, player's handbook, monster manual, GM's guide, sweet. Where's the books that add other classes?
Well, I think the big issue with 5E is that you couldn't find out what was out there
'Cause
without
it's all
buying
locked.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want to look at, oh, geez, I don't know if I want guns and gears. Let me go look at the gunslinger class on Archives of Nethys before.
Archives of Naked.
Yes,
I love
Archives
that.
of Nethys.
Shout out to Archive, by the way.
But you could go look on there and you say, geez, Gunslinger's dope. I'm going to buy guns and gears. You can't do that with 5e.
No,
you
yeah.
have to buy it and hope you'll like it.
It's because Paizo makes their money off of the like adventure and setting stuff, but all the rules are basically free.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And yeah, that just goes back to the thing that D&D, that Hasbro's trying to do. But, you know.
You know what else?
Centuries.
I'll never remember being so disappointed buying the Lost Coast, what is it? Sword Coast Adventures Guide, and getting not nearly enough setting material or any like good options. And I was like, wow, this is sad.
Yeah.
Adventure books are pretty good though. Anyway,
yeah.
Speaking of adventures, centuries. Thank you, Kat. Before
You're so welcome.
the Starstone was raised, the Wizard Kings Nex and Geb warred with one another, scarring the land between them into a devastated, unmatched, unstable wasteland. From the glowing ashes of the Mana Waste rose Alkenstar, the city of smog, a metropolis of airships, skyscrapers, factories, and clockwork wonders.
Catholicism.
To the world, Alkenstar is the pinnacle of innovation and determination in the face of insurmountable odds.
And character deaths.
On its streets, life in Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition. And it is here that a desperate group, hungry for revenge, living on the edge of the law, hunts for the ones who cast them out. They are the Outlaws of Alkenstar.
What about burgers? I couldn't hear that one. Oh my god.
Outlaws of Burger King.
Oh, back. Jeez, what would you have had to do to get Cahoon to outlaw you from his kingdom? Had to do something pretty bad.
Just be mean.
Cahoon accepts a lot.
I know, right? Eats chicken fry. It's not that great.
Leave this land.
Leave my kingdom. You may never return.
How dare you
Leave
insult
now and
the
never
most
come back.
beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Drow is playing a Wolfkin in our Home Forbidden Lands game that we've been playing with some people from Owlbear. And they're playing Princess Callie D chicken fries as an homage to our Forbidden Lands campaign we had here. Her father named her after the things he loved the most. Anyway, we last left our Outlaws of chicken fries.
Well, it's official now. It's staying
when we
in.
last left our Outlaws, Micah's Angels.
You guys were in the Asynchronous Archives looking through the different revisions of Logic of Design and some other things, trying to figure out what bits of teaching and whatever that Kosowana had latched onto or could have latched onto. And you'd started to make a list of the different changes since a little round before he had left the church. And as you were researching in this library, a bunch of book goblins, aka
Crocodile snakes.
Boglins?
these like crocodile, snake rune lizards jumped out and attacked you.
Nagadiles.
You had a quick fight. Eleanor
Krogas.
got hit by one and went down in an extreme moment of irony.
And went to dying 3.
Yeah.
All
You
the way to
had
dying
bottle
3.
caps and a hero point. You're fine. You live
Lovingly.
forever.
Lovingly.
Live forever.
I already spent a bottle cap on you.
I think Kat is sitting on 2 bottle
I have
caps.
2 of my own, and they will save my characters.
Yes, bottle caps will never.
I have never had the limit of 2 before, so I will reign supreme here for just a second.
I'm going to sit on them forever until someone almost
I
dies.
gave you my last bottle cap. Just saying.
I felt loved. Let's play.
But you
No,
fought these lizards.
I think that Jacob needs to mourn the fact that he has less resources now. A little bit more.
All right, we're
All right,
good.
there
Oh
we go.
yeah. So you've fought off these things. You're all kind of hurt. What do you do, Chester?
I'm gonna coup de grace.
Not
Eleanor.
to exaggerate the situation here, but I'm kind of hurt. And Chester's at 5 HP of 48. I'm not going to say I'm grievously wounded, but I breathing hurts.
I see.
I cannot help you with that.
I ain't asking you. You fought good. Good job. Help.
Who are you again?
We've been through this.
Just, oh yeah, who are you?
I thank you.
Oh.
It was riveting.
Psych here.
She looks a little sad when she
Yes,
says
I
riveting.
can.
I feel like Psych here saw Eleanor go down. It was like, not today.
No, not today.
Not this
I just
soon.
replaced these hands.
MVP.
I just replaced these
Yeah.
hands.
All right.
I ain't cutting these heads off again.
I have a question about my curse, Derek.
Yes.
So if I get to the moderate curse, where I get
Yar.
D12s instead of D8s for healing,
Yar.
fuck, it does specify just heal. I
Yeah.
can't harm.
No.
This is bullshit.
I think we've been through
yes,
this
yes.
before.
When you cast heal and all your targets are living creatures,
You just had to play an undead for the funnies, didn't you?
I didn't do it for the funnies. I did it because it was cool.
No, you did it for the funnies.
You
gonna
guys
kill
made
you.
jokes
Listen,
about my
the
dad went to
funny-
get milk.
The funnies was a good bonus.
I remember when we were hashing out. You were stuck on what ancestry to play for a while. It was this and something else, and we kept joking until like 5 a.m. about how your dad just went to get milk and poofed into dust.
You really-
And that joke that we couldn't let go of is the ultimate reason you stuck with Dampire.
All right, you get the 2-action version, which is
Oh, you still
going
got
to-
more harm.
Yes,
Nice.
I do.
You
I
could
do
also
have
just
harm.
treat wounds.
Yeah, we could do treat wounds.
And
I'm untrained in medicine. Don't ask me to do
I
it.
do both.
I ain't smart.
Well, but spells is per day resource, so
That's true. If we leave here, we're going to go sleep.
fine, I'm going to do battle medicine right here, right now.
Stab!
What's battle medicine?
That's when you stab for a d6 of damage
Don't you
first.
have to be in battle for that?
No, it just takes less
quick,
time.
Eleanor, punch me.
Treat wounds, DC 15 to heal 2d8.
It just lets you do it instead of 10 minutes. It's like round.
Whoa.
Yeah, but so does that mean that we can just
Whoa.
forsake
I made
10
it.
minutes entirely?
All right.
Or is
You're
it you
immune
can do
for
it
a
in-
day. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. It was how much?
4.
For
4
total?
HP. Yeah.
2d8.
You got 4 HP. I rolled 2 2s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so battle medicine, you can patch up wounds even in combat. Attempt a medicine check with the same DC as treat wounds, and you can restore the corresponding amount of hit points. This doesn't remove the wounded condition. As with treat wounds, you can attempt checks against higher DCs if you have the minimum proficiency rank. And the target is then temporarily immune to the effects of battle medicine for 1 day.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically, instead of taking 10 minutes, it just took... I still have to wait 10 minutes till the next one.
Speaking of wounded, is there a way for us to remove my wounded condition?
You
It would have to be
treat
medicine.
wounds. Yeah.
Okay.
I've not gotten treat wounds.
Or if you got to full health and waited 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I only have 27 hit points.
Yeah,
You
you're at
have double
1/3.
what he has.
I'm just messing.
I mean, but if you're going to wait to treat wounds again, you could just go ahead and treat
Psyche's
Eleanor.
definitely not going to treat wounds in this library.
Nah, we
That's-
could
that's
finish the
ridiculous.
library stuff.
But like,
okay.
we're being given one more chance to research.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen if we do this.
Like, I've never thought that researching books could be physically dangerous.
So I'm like, if we get shoved into another combat and we're this hurt, might not be good.
This is why what is it in 40K? The librarians are the most feared, one of the most powerful factions or whatever. They just have to fight all the book monsters.
That's right. The dangerous book monsters. Well, if we're not going to treat wounds anymore, I suppose we'll get going. I'm at 9 hit points. I'm ready for a new combat.
Do you want to do harm on him like you were thinking?
You rejected my harm.
I didn't reject it.
I didn't realize you were trying to.
I didn't reject. Don't let the DM fool you. I didn't
realize you were trying to not do surgery in the library. If that's your MO, then by all means.
I didn't say don't do it. Don't put that bad juju on me.
No, do put the bad juju on you. Harm.
Eleanor's like, here's a book on surgery.
Give me that bad juju. Please? Give me the bad juju?
Later.
Now?
No.
Arm?
No.
Please?
Not unless you say spank me, psych here.
It's Spank Me Sack here.
Holy shit.
Listen, I'm hurt.
Oh dear. Chester.
Listen, I'm hurt, okay? I'll say whatever you want.
That was a joke.
Here, take my whip if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chester.
Okay, goddamn, I guess.
You see Eleanor in the background. I am very uncomfortable.
You can be uncomfortable. You're healthy.
I'll do the 2 action version. So it's a D8 plus 8. 13.
Woo. I feel.
I have no spells left.
I am grievously wounded.
I am above 20. I am almost halfway. Let's do this.
Let's read some books.
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys, because you're only 3 people, an extra round of research.
All right.
I think that's fair.
What could we roll for this again?
For this one, if you're at the Logic of Design, if you're at the Logic of Design version history, you can roll Academia lore, Bry lore, or Library lore. Higher DC would be religion, and higher than that would be perception.
I have Bry
Academia lore.
And
that's a natural
perception.
20.
Natural 20?
Yes!
Sweet.
That is an 18 on the die for a total of 28.
A 28? Okay.
Oh, I actually rolled good. 21.
Do you get your +1 from your thing?
Yes.
Did you add that in?
I did not, so 29.
That's another critical.
And I got a 21. Did I not fail?
21 total?
Yeah. Or at least did I not critically fail?
You didn't critically fail.
But I did fail.
Is that
Jeez, wow.
perception?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not smart,
Well, I'll go ahead and give you the next one
but I
because
didn't crit fail.
you were only 1 point away.
We spawn a Tarask.
You spawn a fucking Tarask.
It's like, that's it. I'm done.
Everybody is. We've probably just ended the
We've
world.
killed Alkenstar. I don't know about the world, but Alkenstar.
Alkenstar's gone.
Alkenstar does have that like big ass gun.
Okay.
Is it
defending
aimed at the city?
I mean, it could
Is it
be.
aimed at the city? Is it aimed? Can
Is it
everything
aimed at the
center?
library?
Can everything center on this one part inside the city?
Yeah, we're in the fancy place of the city because we're at the temple.
The Tarask has one weakness that's never been exploited.
Paper
Guns.
cuts.
Gun.
The Tarask has one weakness that's never been
20 to
exploited.
Gun.
Oh my god.
Tarask like, I will eat you up.
Oh, crap.
Behold my most powerful spell.
There is
Prepare to meet God.
There is no weapon forged by man that can slay me. What is that? It's also been like 500 years.
That reminds me of that Tumblr post. Like, oh, you got his stake in the heart. Dude, dynamite didn't exist when you were around. Come at me.
Come at me, bruh. So what did we find?
Oh man, there's nothing like a Tarask being like, no weapon forged by man can be. Oh shit, what is that? And then it's like a precision guided bomb.
Oh my lord.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Anyway,
We can't do this.
Very well can do this. Just put your headset on. No, okay. I thought you took it off, flipped around, and put it back on.
you guys do find something else kind of squirreled away in like a bunch of footnotes around the version history. You find a series of articles penned by a researcher using the pseudonym the 13th Ordinal, sometimes abbreviated as 13. These articles suggest that the goddess Bry, as understood by her followers, is actually a clockwork creation disguising her true divinity, which is beyond the comprehension of mere mortals. The 13th Ordinal has a specific interest in a place called the Cradle of Quartz.
There's a name
Name drop.
Name of the book.
which is some sort of Bryite holy site in the spell-scarred desert.
It's the
Guys, we're gonna go see my family.
Cradle of
Quartz.
Quartz, which claims what?
It's some sort of former Bryite holy site that's been stricken from a lot of the records, but it's in the spell-scarred desert. And the people who wrote this article are the 13th Ordinal believed it was the key to uncovering the truth of Bry and the ultimate understanding of time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
where
right.
this-
She's a minor time deity.
Is that where this dude on the flying thing was trying to get to?
In some
Mayhaps.
subsequent texts, the clergy you find denounce the 13th Ordinal and labeled all these beliefs as the Concurrent Heresy.
You see these beliefs? They're Horus.
Kill
The concurrent
The Concurrent Heresy.
heresy. Now, is that in the book?
What?
The word heresy.
Yes.
I'm genuinely wanting to know.
Yeah,
all right.
Jacob has to ask me every time I talk about Bry stuff to find out if it's just me adding things or if it's me influencing it with 40K. No, it turns out this adventure path has a lot of bleed over with 40K completely unintentionally.
All right, so I just want to double check my notes
this
are
adventure path was made for me.
just good enough. Because they're not going to be good, because you give us a lot of information. We find articles by the 14th Ordinal.
13th Ordinal.
I said I got 13th.
Holy
It
shit.
says the goddess Bry is a clockwork creation disguised. Stop. Mentions the Cradle of Quartz, claims it is former Bry holy spot. Says it's the key to the truth of Bry and the key to time?
To an ultimate understanding of time.
Okay, there we go. There we go. An
And
ultimate
to be
understanding.
more specifically, the 13th Ordinal suggests in some of these articles that Bry is actually a clockwork creation disguising her true divinity, which is beyond the comprehension of mere mortals.
So basically, because these people already believe Bry is a god, right? A goddess, right?
Yeah.
But this claims that she's like an even bigger deal goddess.
More like some sort of higher figure goddess that is using the guise of a clockwork creation to like speak through. Think like Old One using this as like a form or something.
Like they think the Bry that these people are worshiping isn't the true Bry, but
Sort
what's
of.
above that is the true Bry.
Yes.
That seems needlessly complicated, but dope.
And this has all been
Needlessly
labeled
complicated.
the Concurrent Heresy.
I have got it now.
How does Psycheer feel about reading this?
This would be so wonderful if she was not dying.
What you mean by that?
Bry has ticked ever onward for quite some time now.
Really? I thought clockwork stuff was like fairly new.
Her essence has been with us for quite some time.
Do you mean like she's dying in the sense that everything's dying as long as it's alive? Or like she's like really, 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 really old? Or do you know something?
Put your guns away, please.
Jacob did finger guns at Trow.
All will be revealed in time, child.
Okay, but like I feel like this could be relevant like now. I'm gonna admit, I ain't too big on, I don't know much about the Bry. What's it? This is why I call it Bree and mess with people because I find it funny. I also just don't know anything.
You're very irreverent.
Yeah. But I feel like now it might be important to learn this stuff because it seems like it might be relevant to our current situation.
Yeah, okay.
Jacob speaking, this book is totally going to be about Bry stuff. Please teach me more.
Well, just the title of the book.
I made the mistake of announcing the title of the book. So now when it comes up, you're like, hey,
Hey,
plot.
Hey.
plot. So I guess we gotta get out of here soon. It's closing, right?
Yeah. And at this point in time, it's like you got here in the morning, probably around like 10. It's somewhere around like,
Maybe 4-hour shifts is what we did, right?
yeah, you were here for 16 hours.
Yeah.
So that'd be 10 plus 6 is like 4 in the morning.
Can we stop at like Western Burger King or something?
Go to Waffle House.
I mean, we live at a tavern. They got food there. We got Burger King at home.
Burger King at home.
I hate this fucking family.
You chose it.
Eleanor's just like, I'm rather hungry.
Don't worry. We'll get Gallowby to whip us up something when we get back.
Why would you want Gattleby to cook?
I'd rather not explode.
I'm curious as to what he can make.
I feel like that would give you the shits. You specifically, you and your poor tender tummy.
Oh, I have a
Chester.
fantastic tummy. I don't.
That's Jacob
Chester's my
speaking.
dream person. No tummy problems.
Iron gut.
My gut's strong. Heck, my fortitude is my worst save. Let's do this.
We broke Drow.
It's late. Don't alert our neighbors. You just beat the table.
Like fiercely
hard.
beat it. I felt the vibrations
Oh
in my
my
chair.
god. Anyway,
Well,
so I guess we're going to the Mana Wastes.
I mean, maybe eventually. We still gotta check out what's-his-face's house and talk to his neighbors and...
But we have a location to check out.
Yeah, but we still gotta find... We're not looking for whatever this Cradle of Quartz is. It doesn't matter if it's the title of the book we're currently in. We got our current mission.
The last we saw,
is
this man,
Kosowana.
the last we heard, this man was flying off into the Mana Wastes.
Was that what last we heard?
Yeah, like he was on that winged cat flying off.
But like flying... Did it give us a direction?
It did not give you a direction, no.
Oh, I thought you said that he was just flying off into the Mana Wastes.
I
No,
mean, he's
they-
flying off. The only place out there is the Mana Waste, but you don't know where he's headed.
I'm just saying we should still check out his house and talk to his neighbors. Listen, I'm all about information. The more information we've got, the more we can do with it, and the better off we'll be.
We should follow every lead.
Well, I'm not the one who devises stratagems. However, I also do not have a disguise anymore.
Well, we could just go back to the tavern.
We still have to get out of this library.
You still have.
Yeah, we just walk out. Did we
Pull the
use
cloaks out of the
did
bag.
we actually use a hat of disguise to get in here?
Yeah,
Well,
Sakir
Sakir
did.
had to.
Oh, you can just use my hat. I walked in here without it.
Okay.
I kind of want to yell at main Takis because, you know, they didn't warn us there'd be monsters in the library, but we don't
No.
have to do that.
They were rather hedgy about that.
Yeah, I know. It's dangerous knowledge. Lizards ain't knowledge. Yeah, let's go to the tavern.
We
Right,
learned
a
how to fight
strongly worded
lizards.
leather.
Do what?
We learned how to fight lizards.
That is a pretty useful thing. I bet in the Mana Waste ain't no telling what we'll fight if we have to end up going out there. Not that I'm assuming that.
It's like Eleanor pulls a fancy... She pulls a fancy handkerchief from her pocket, wipes the rune blood off of her rapier, and says, "Let's."
That looks like yours.
Let's go.
We are not going to discuss the fact that I went down in my first combat with you.
We go.
I must keep things interesting.
We go tavern. We go sleep.
You go sleep.
We go sleep at
okay.
tavern.
You, it could be worse.
Do we rush into Galaby's workshop while he's working, shove him to the ground, shove the stuff off his table, and do surgery right there?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna put myself.
I hope it's,
You get
I hope
back
it's
to the
fucking
tavern.
thermite.
You walk in the main door. You see Gattleby in the kitchen.
Oh,
Is he making cheese fries?
hey Galaby, what you doing?
Cooking?
What you cooking?
Baked beans?
Oh, give me a serving of them too.
Sure.
I tell them these two. I was
I'm
loving to know what
starving.
type of food you make.
Really?
You sure you're ready for it?
Oh, how born ready.
You sure your stomach's up to the test?
I got a fortitude of 8. I can do anything.
How much hot sauce did you put in those?
All right. Yeah, you come see. He takes the extra time. He makes a dish. It's like Bush's baked beans with ground beef, like
Oh, yuck.
seasoned ground beef, a big dollop of sour cream on top.
You lost
yes.
me at beef and then sour cream.
Pickled jalapenos, and then like hot sauce.
Oh, you Galaby, you speaking my language.
Live fast, die fast.
Goblin life.
Yeah,
Shall
boy.
with that food.
I call this one the toxic gas creator.
Oh, I know a certain somebody that shouldn't eat that. It's me. Let's do this.
Where's my lizard?
Slick.
He's
Yes, where's my lizard?
Oh, Slick's indisposed. He got a batch early.
What did you do to my? I'm going to go get. I'm going to go get
empty
Slick.
can rolls by and Slick sticks his head out, licking his mouth.
Basically, yeah.
Is Slick's belly so big that Slick, their little
boy.
legs won't meet the ground?
Yeah, he can't. He tries
Look
to
what-
run away when you
Look
walk
what
up to
they've
him, and
done
he
to
can't
my
get away.
boy.
Look what they've done to my boy.
Gonna pick him up, like very gently flip him onto his back and rub his tummy in circles.
He farts,
Vomits.
and it smells horrifying.
It's okay,
I
Slick.
bet
Let it
lizard
out.
farts
You know what's
would smell
great?
bad.
You wanted to kill the snake, but Sakir has fallen in love with Slick.
It's because his tail don't flick.
There's a difference between lizards and snakes.
I enjoying that hot grass special, Trooper.
Oh, it's delicious. This is great. You got
Eleanor is in the background trying to flag down one of the actual cooks.
it's like 4 in the morning. So
Ghelfi is the only one here. You had to use the keys to come into this place.
Phoebe! Phoebe!
there ain't no Phoebe anymore.
It's like, I'll just go in
Only
the back
baked
and-
beans.
Look for what's left in the pot.
Just get some bread.
Chester will finish eating, get Psycheer to heal him up to full, and go bed.
Okay, you do that.
I'm gonna put myself at full HP. Is that fine?
Psycheer healing him up to full is just doing the same thing that they were doing to Slick.
Rubbing the
Afterwards,
belly.
it's just gonna rub their belly.
Chester's laying there.
Until they fart.
Oh,
It's okay. It's okay.
it tasted so good.
It's okay.
Like on her way to bed.
Psycheer, if I could, I'd eat more.
I understand.
This
it's
is
okay.
just Jacob talking now.
It was like
Just let it out.
on her way to bed, Eleanor grabs herself a little bottle of a drink.
You're gonna need it.
Go to bed.
All right, yeah, y'all can, between time you have heal up to full, you're just gonna take a hot minute waking up the next day.
Well, I mean, we've already gotten to bed at like
Jesus.
4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so late.
Yeah, shut
We're
up,
not
Trap.
all night owls.
I'm gonna say you guys get up at like noon the next day. Chester, make a fortitude save.
What? Oh, close the beans?
No.
Yeah, put your generous
No!
+6.
19.
You're fine.
God. Oh, those beans hit the spot. I got a spice in my step today. Burnt.
Jacob leaned, by the way.
Chester,
What's up?
Chester, I would do most anything to help keep you safe, but I'm not sure that I can do that again tonight. Give me a day at least.
Listen, I can rub my own tummy and feel better. It's okay.
It's like Eleanor just brings out the empty glass bottle, looks a little bit, red in the eyes.
Am I the only one taking care of my body? And a finger falls off.
Look at a little bottle.
My body is perfectly healthy. I'm just a bit gassy. You leave me alone.
You ate so many beans.
Am I the only one taking care of my body? Metal.
It's like Eleanor is still mourning.
The jaw unhinges for just one quick second and just right back
You
into
forgot
place.
your screwdriver.
It's supposed to do that.
I'm sticking my hand out like holding a screwdriver to drow.
Better for the yelling.
Oil can.
I don't use flathead, thank you. That's
No, it's a
somebody
Phillips.
You
else's.
forgot your iFixit kit.
I do love an iFixit kit.
I am a little fix-it.
You
I have
forgot your
a-
WD-40.
Later.
You have breakfast at noon. Chester and Eleanor both have like eggs, grits,
Chester
maybe a
has-
slice of bacon.
Omelet and grits.
Psycheer has an egg and a can of WD-40.
No, Eleanor's having pancakes.
Ooh.
Eating pancakes.
Gotta make sure that I keep everything loose, especially after that rust beast that we fought.
Oh, yeah, that one sucked.
You remember that?
Yeah, we almost died.
Yeah.
We do that a lot.
Looks at Eleanor.
Welcome to the group.
Eleanor's just sitting there quietly like, uncomfortable.
Has Psycheer ever went unconscious?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I also
Psycheer
went
has.
unconscious at the dump, I'm pretty sure.
You had to have, because I can't think of anywhere else where you would have. Well, I suppose just today we'll be hitting up the neighbors of one Kosowana. Maybe try to check out his place if it ain't some kind of crime scene.
Or heavily booby-trapped.
Or heavily booby-trapped.
You know that Phoebe told you that his neighbor is the one that was talking about stuff.
Ah.
And now you have his address.
Yeah,
We should talk to the neighbor.
we should go talk to his neighbor.
I want to talk to Gattleby real quick.
Okay.
Can I buy a buckler on the way out?
You can buy a buckler.
I'm going to ask Gattleby if he's ever had any interactions with this man.
You go to Gattleby. He's asleep.
That's smart. Hey, he should
I'm
be.
going to wake him up.
Yeah, get it. Chester will follow you.
Hello. We have questions.
It's like noon. It's like my version of 4 a.m.
It's okay. It's okay. And I'm going to rub his tummy. We need to know more about this alchemist.
Soft kitty.
You don't know what you unleash.
It's okay. It's okay. I am a sanctioned healer.
I don't trust you. What do you need?
What do you know about this man? And I say his name.
Kosowana. Aloman Kosowana.
All right. Nothing. And I punch him in the gut and leave. I take Slick with me.
On the trip?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Chester would like to, I want to say he'll look at what we have because we've got a lot of stuff on Kosowana now. And he's gonna, I don't know, pursue a lead on him. Pursue a lead?
Pursue a lead?
Oh, pursue a lead.
God damn.
God damn.
Pretty sure it's not how it works, but, you know, it's the best we got right now.
Oh, Eleanor's
Pursue a lead on him or
On him, on
the
Kosowana.
people who were going after him?
Well, we don't know who's going after him.
Well, you remember Phoebe
there
described...
were people, but we still don't know who's going after him. I can't
Yar.
pursue a lead on them until I find some sort of clue that leads to them. But we have clues that lead to Kosowana,
I see.
which should probably help us when we're talking to his neighbor and whatnot.
All right.
Whatnot.
So what do you guys want to do?
We could, I guess we'll just go to his house and find his neighbor. We know the neighbor's name, right?
You do know the neighbor's name. I'm not sure if Phoebe told you, but you would know that his neighbor's name is Winrick Riggs. Winrick Riggs. Wenryek. And then Riggs, Rigges.
Cool. Here's what I think we'll do. We'll go to Winrick Riggs' place. We'll knock on his door, and we'll say that we're, I don't know. We've been hired as private eyes to go find Mr. Kosowana from a curious family member, something like that. If they're asking.
Sounds about right.
Private investigator hired by a family member.
Yeah.
Undercover. Okay.
Of course, we can wing it as we get there if we find out some stuff, but...
Just, nothing ridiculous like trying to say it's his birthday or something.
Absolutely not. Knock, knock,
That'd
knock.
be dumb.
No, knock. Hey, we're looking for Kosowana. We heard it's his birthday. We got a telegram for him.
Only nincompoops would use such a plan.
Only. Yeah, that's right. I would never imagine using someone's birthday as an excuse. Let's go to his neighbor's house.
All right, so head over there. It's also in Ferris Quarter. When you go up to his neighbors, what do you do?
He'll make sure that Psyche and Eleanor are with him because they have a better charisma than him.
Okay.
And he'll knock on the door.
What is Psyche's charisma?
+4.
Mine is +2.
So am I knocking?
Yes.
I can back
right.
you up, but
Chester
you should do
will
the
knock
talking.
for you at the neighbor's house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with the neighbor.
And he'll knock for you, and then he'll stand beside you with his arms crossed
You look all tough.
and his whip in his hand.
You're like 120 pounds. Stand back.
I'm tough.
Soaking wet.
You want to fight? I'll fight.
Anyway,
lose.
does anybody answer the door?
You knock at the door, and you see a man opens it. He kind of like looks out the side of the door, kind of an older guy, not old, but like late middle age, I guess.
Okay.
Looks a little shaggy and said, "Can I help you? Well, I'm not open today."
I'm sorry. We're not trying to buy anything. We just have a few questions about your eccentric neighbor.
Oh, you asking about the old man over there, Kosowana?
Yes, sir.
What do you need to know about him?
We are trying to find out exactly what happened to him, where he might be going, and if he's connected to a possible leak of secure information.
Who are you people? What are you talking about?
We've been hired to investigate from the family.
Oh, from his family, you say? Make a diplomacy check.
Can I offer aid?
You can.
Can I attempt to aid?
Sure.
I'm actually going to roll this dice.
I do not aid.
Oh! 28!
28.
I don't aid either.
I rolled an 18. 18. I got +10.
Nice.
Yeah.
I rolled a natty
18.
2. I don't aid.
Okay, so I'm using the make an impression rule, which is an action, I think. with at least 1 minute of conversation during which you engage in charismatic overtures, flattery, or other acts of goodwill. You seek to make a good impression to make someone temporarily agreeable. You'd make a diplomacy check, blah, 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 against the will DC of the target, modified, blah, blah, blah. That's a critical success.
Yes. Yeah. Go Drow.
So he's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Olemon's he's a bit of a noisy type. Like, he's been just doing some sort of deafening foolery over there. I don't know. I'm sorry. I filed noise complaints because it's just been so loud. I filed them with the shield marshals for weeks to no avail. Nothing gets done under Deputy Lovelace, I tell you. He spits on the ground.
Tell me about it. Spits on the ground.
Eleanor flinches.
I've told them so many times that there's some sort of exploding noise come from this warehouse over and over. It's just insufferable. You'd think them shield marshals or Lovelace would care about those people of Ironside, but nope, explosions don't seem to interest her at all. Anyway, yeah, not too long ago, a couple days ago, or day before yesterday, I guess at this point, day before yesterday, I saw some sort of ne'er-do-wells. I think they were, some of them were dressed in like gold and black. Ran past my office and they stopped at Olemon's door and kicked it in. And I heard shouts, I heard shooting, some sort of scuffle, and I saw out the window, but I couldn't see inside his workshop at all. And then, not but a few moments later, I heard more shooting going on in there, and then busting out of the loading area, there's this flying cat made of brass and gold. And the bandits, they all ran after the guy, but firing their guns, but he flew right on out of sight.
Was Kosowana on that big old cat?
Oh yeah, he riding it right on out of there. I don't know how he got out of it, because every time I see him interacting with his shop, it looks so full to bursting with stuff. I don't know how he gets around it. I see him like opening the door, and he has to like squeeze his way past just to get in the damn thing.
Do you happen to remember which direction he set off in?
I'm sorry, I didn't see much. I was just looking out my window. I didn't want to go outside during all that
No,
ruckus.
I completely understand.
Not advisable.
Yeah, but I don't know. He seems to be some sort of cluttered, crazy person working on something over there.
Looks like we'll have to
check out that workshop.
Check out the workshop to get more answers. But thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Is
You're
there
welcome.
Anything else you can think of to tell us at any point? Any interesting visitors to his house before all this happened?
I imagine y'all was gonna have to go into his shop to
yes, sir.
To investigate and all. But yeah, every time I see him go in the damn place, he has to squeeze through the door and squeezes when he comes out. I assume he's kind of one of those smart types that's all sort of book and learned, but kind of not too street smart, and he's got a house full of crap. Got too much stuff.
A hoarder.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or just keeps a bunch of no good in there. So just keep that in mind when you try to go in.
It's real crowded. I got you.
Well, that's about it. Good luck to you guys. Watch out for them and bandits in the black and gold. They look terrifying.
Have you seen them since all this went down?
Nah.
No. Okay.
Make a underworld lore.
Ooh. 10 plus 10 is 20.
20?
Yeah.
You know that there is a notorious or dangerous gang in Alkenstar called the Gilded Gunners, and they typically dress in black and gold and are really shiny, looking like that.
Would Chester know if they work with Muglin?
You would.
Ooh. Oh, and then before we go, Chester will look at like, have you seen a guy that looked like Muglin's description with these people when they attacked that workshop?
Oh yeah, there was one of them was shorty looking guy, but I just figured he was with the rest of the crew.
Mustache like this, probably had a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah. Weird little guy.
Yeah, I hear that.
Running around in a mech suit.
Running around in the mech. I knew it!
Jacob has a long-standing prediction that whenever you guys fight Muglin,
he's going to be in a mech suit.
Listen, my favorite thing to do is try to figure out what class somebody is. And unless he's some funky, like, I'm a big boss, so I got special stuff going on class, I can't think of what he'd be. So he's going to be in a mech suit, a clockwork mech suit.
Mecha Muglin.
We're going to be in a Zeppelin, and we're going to have a final fight against him in a clockwork mech suit. Though if I had to put
Jacob's
money on
going
it,
on
I
record.
wouldn't say the Zeppelin. I'd say the Clockwork Mech suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for reaffirming what I said and get me a future bottle cap. That's real cool.
He wasn't in the mech suit.
I know. So yeah, as the door closes, Chester will look at them. Yeah, the gang he seems to be talking about sounds like these guys called the Gilded Gunners, real like gold and black, and they most certainly work for Muglin. So we're back on their trail again. We gotta be careful in this place. Guys, if it's crowded, things might fall over. We gotta keep an eye out. And there ain't no telling what type of traps or clockwork monstrosities this guy might have in there. I say monstrosity. They're not monsters. There's machines. They just look funky, like a big cat. That's weird, but that's just a clockwork robot.
Oh, yes. A big metal cat. That would be strange.
That would be so weird. I'm glad I ain't never seen one myself.
I don't know what I'd do.
Chester will flick his whip a little bit in one direction. I don't know what I'd do if I ever saw a metal cat. Drow's glaring at the motion.
As Jacob waves his arm back and forth.
So does this work? So we're going to walk over to the workshop.
Yep.
Okay.
Does this workshop have windows?
Oh, why don't I show you here on the map?
And Chester's going to go ahead and drink an Eagle Eye elixir. I believe I have moderate.
Are you like trying to enter? Are you scouting the place?
peeking. In the
Is there is there a window?
You don't. Doesn't looks like there is a window, I guess, but one over here near like that storm grate on the road.
Uh-huh.
But it does look boarded or shuttered up.
Chester would like to check out. Oh, it's shuttered up.
Yeah.
Like from the inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's no way to see inside, I suppose we'll go up to the door and try it real quick.
Let's go.
Or investigate the door. I'll search it and make sure there's nothing, funky with it.
All right, roll perception.
Congratulations, frontliner. Go check for traps.
Yeah, that's a 19.
19.
A perception check.
Got this.
20 if it's trapped.
With a 19 exactly.
Oh, no.
Before you get to the door, you spot a metal dart on the ground near the doorway.
Ooh.
Jesus.
As a trap or something that has been expended?
It just looks like a metal dart lying on the ground near the doorway, stuck in the ground.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this right now. I'm done. I'm done with this shit.
By the door?
In front of the door.
Chester will, from 10 feet away, take out the whip, and he'll swing until he can nudge it and make sure that touching it doesn't cause something bad to happen.
You hit the dart and you move it.
Then Chester will walk over and pick it up.
All right, yeah, it's
You
a
die.
metal little dart. It looks like something that you'd load in a repeating crossbow almost. Like a small one.
Whenever you're doing the getting it ready, it's like you're just watching.
Psyche's ears
Eleanor
flick.
has to hold Psyche back a little bit. Like a regular crossbow or
Not a bolt, but if you had a small launcher thing, like ammo for that.
Not like a hand crossbow.
Is it
Kind of in the same vein as a hand crossbow.
is it damaged at all? Is it empty? Does it look like it was a casing?
No, it just looks like a metal dart.
Okay.
What
So-
direction was it pointing?
We gotta remember.
it was
Away from
sticking
the
in the
door.
ground.
So it could have come from the door.
Yeah. We gotta remember. Either there's a weapon inside, or this is one of the things that was fired from the posse.
Yeah.
Or from the cat as it was escaping.
Well, I guess.
It was fired.
So Chester
was a
has one pursue a lead on Kosowana. I
Yeah.
think I already had that because that's what we use at the temple.
Yeah.
He will use this dart as a second pursue a lead.
On
Just on whatever it is. I don't always have to know what I'm pursuing. I just have to have
Okay.
a clue. And this is a clue.
Does it have a blue paw print on it?
A clue, a clue.
No, it doesn't.
But he will pursue a lead on this, and hopefully that will come back to help us out later on. And he'll walk up to the door, and he'll check it out.
All right, roll perception.
Oh, boy.
Gonna devise a stratagem.
11 plus 9 is 20. 21 if it's trapped.
Well, the first thing that you notice, it is locked.
Of course.
Of course.
Chester will look at them, and he'll be like, it's locked. I'll try to unlock it.
A lot.
Well, I know. Listen, I ain't no Lonzo, but I can give my hand at it. and he will attempt to thievery check this thing.
Eleanor sniffles.
And he will use some of his handy items to do better than usual. This will be a plus 11. 14 on the die for 25.
That's a critical success.
Beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, you need 4 successful thievery checks to open this, and that will count for 2.
Okay. So then Chester will try again.
Okay.
14 on the die again. 25.
Yeah, that's 2 more. You and a bit of a sad stand-in for your old buddy Alonzo using his old lockpicks.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. In this case, Chester was using a new magic item that he bought while shopping.
Upgraded version.
He's not.
As he unlocks it, oh no, I'm not nearly as. My dex is only 2, so I can't be as good as Alonzo.
Yeah, he's not
even
nearly
with the
as
magic
good.
item. But as he clicks it with the tools, a key forms in his hand, and it is the key to the door.
You unlock the door.
Wait, so you have a magic lockpick?
I have a lockpick set that whenever I open a door with it, I get a key to whatever I just lockpicked, and it lasts for 12 hours or until I pick something else again.
That's pretty awesome.
So that we could
Beautiful.
lock this behind us.
What's that item called?
It's called the key making tools.
That's pretty sweet.
Unfortunately, it's only a +1 to pick a lock, not to disable device,
Yeah.
which is really sad because nothing gives you a +1 to disable device right now. No item anyway.
Huh.
So Chester will be like, hey, if you two will stand over there and make them stand by the wall, does this door slide open or swing open?
It swings inward.
It swings inward. Here's what Chester's going to do. Looking at the dart and looking at the door, he's going to have them stand against the wall.
On either
And then
side?
he's going to stand against the other side of the wall, and he's going to do like this. Use his hand to push it open. Like this.
All right.
You'll
So
still
that-
get hit because of just fucking mechanics.
Because of
I'm so
mechanics,
sorry.
but I've got to at least try.
Yeah,
And he's
okay.
gonna,
Is that
he's
the
gonna
door?
push the door to where it swings as wide open as it will be in case there's a crossbow pointing out the door.
Yeah.
I know
all right.
I know mechanics, but I've got to at least try.
So how far are you going to open this door?
As far as it will open. He'll just shove.
All right. You open the door a little bit and then you shove it and you hear clack.
Yeah, it's about what I thought.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay.
I guess I'm gonna get swung at, huh?
You're going to have some cover. I'll give
Okay, you know what?
cover.
I will
That's
take
good.
that. Yeah.
It's
For
going
trying.
to shoot at you. I need you to make a reflex save. You can take regular cover.
Which would do.
Standard cover is +2 to AC, reflex, and stealth. So +2 to your reflex.
And I also get another +2 because I have wary disarmament. +2 circumstance bonus to saves and AC versus traps or devices you failed to disarm.
Hold on. Standard cover gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to AC, to reflex saves, and area effects. So they're both circumstance bonus. They won't stack.
That
is bullshit.
And it's honestly the same thing if you think about it. Wary disarmament. You're trying to do it. You're wary of it. It's the same thing as taking cover. It makes sense that they count the same.
The salty again.
Understand. I am salty,
He's
but
doing
I
it upset.
understand.
All right, roll me a reflex save.
Get the Williams!
Chester Williams.
I hate that this has become Chester Williams' latest joke. I mean, Chester gonna dodge a trap Williams.
No.
We got a total of 26.
Devise a stratagem.
26.
That's
Yes.
a good roll.
Nice.
14
really
plus
good.
Needs
12.
Alonso.
Reflex is his best save.
Hey. Well, that's a
Eleanor in the
success.
background. I did.
And what do I get since I succeed?
Oh, Eleanor.
Oh no.
You're going to take half damage.
Oh, fantastic.
Basic reflex save. So that's going to be
1,
plus.
2.
Oh.
So that would have been 35 points of damage.
What the fuck?
You're instead going to take 17 points of damage.
That's a heckin'
Chester-
powerful trap.
Chester motions you guys to get against the wall, so you're completely out of range. And he stands back and shoves the door. And as he does, multiple crossbow bolts go shooting out, but one pierces his hand, like straight through. He's like, "Cotton slamming dick! Oh, what the heck?"
Easy.
Do you let the door close?
I mean, he's just going to back up.
The door
And-
closes.
It
I'll
closes,
stop it.
so it swings.
Yeah.
I'll stop it
It's
on
a
my
door.
way over.
Not every door that swings open swings closed.
Most
okay?
doors do.
No, they don't. You
Most
open
of them
that door
stay
right
open.
there, it's going to stay open.
But door to the outside should be made to where it closes on its own.
But Chester's got a key.
Well, the key doesn't help it stay open.
No, but I mean, you can get us back in.
I mean, yeah, you're right. So yeah, Chester will let it close,
Okay.
and then Chester will say,
Jacob is holding his hand in front of his face and just yelling at it.
Chester will pull that out, and say, Sakir,
Whenever the door closed, you hear it
yeah, Sakir, could you maybe can you wrap my hand up, please?
I got you. Do we want to do battle medicine or do we want to just
No,
spend-
battle medicine we save for in case you have to do it
Okay.
in combat. This will
Okay.
just be
Okay.
10-minute.
All right.
No, this is worth taking a break for.
Okay.
My hand.
I am grievously wounded.
Listen, this ain't the best I've been hurt before, but this ain't pleasant. Did you roll a 1? Oh, 2, you should have it.
You should be fine.
That's a 12.
total.
Yes.
Dang
Okay.
it.
Well, you don't get healed.
I don't get healed, but I don't get hurt.
Wait, healer's gloves. Hang on.
That's only a +1, I bet.
If you have them equipped, it should already
Yes.
count.
I just give you a flavor Band-Aid.
Chester Williams.
I'll try again.
Okay, we'll wait 10 minutes.
We
and
can
try
wait.
again. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, try again.
It's okay. It happens to everybody.
15. So that's
Hey.
25.
Nice. That's
Critical
yeah,
success.
2d4. Or
48.
2d8 times 2.
No, it's 48.
Oh, it is 48?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like criticaling on an attack.
Chester Williams. Okay.
Did you
Jacob hands out a die. Goes, yes, you Williams.
die saying Chester Williams?
Is that your new nervous catchphrase? He's a Pokemon.
Okay. Wow. That's 7, 14, 15.
15? All right, you know what? That takes
You're
me...
almost entirely full.
Yeah, almost back up to full. We're good. And now
I give you a sucker.
Chester will try to slide
Really?
into
So
the door.
soon after Alonzo died?
I mean, like a lollipop.
Oh my god.
Chester will attempt to crack the door open and slide inside.
You do so.
Before he closes the door, he lets the door close behind him. He will look around and make sure there's no, clockwork machinations coming towards him.
So you realize in doing this, after having it open, if you crack the door open a little bit and squeeze past, like Winrick was
Oh,
saying,
no.
you can get in without setting
It's
off the
not
trap.
a hoarder.
Yeah.
He's just not
okay.
setting off his trap.
Well, yeah. That's about what I thought, but I figured I could, let the trap run out. but
Disarm the
door
trap.
swung closed.
I know that pain, Jacob.
All right. So you're able to get in. I'll move you in.
Is there a switch or something that I can see that would disarm the trap?
No.
Chester will...
You see the trap, but you'd have to disarm it, like where it goes off. But you have to make a disarm check, thievery.
Or could we just squeeze our way in?
Instead of that, I mean, is this a workshop room?
Actually, if you want to squeeze in, I am going to need an acrobatics check.
I can acrobatics.
Okay. Hold on, no, I have to do it first.
Yeah, he said it first, but you can do it as well, Kat.
20.
You're good.
All right.
I mean, I can offer to
Well,
help.
before you do that, instead of disabling it, is this a workshop room?
It's like, why don't I read you some flavor
Okay,
text?
there we go. Because there's something else I could do.
This room may once have served as an outer office and reception area for a business, but now it seems to be equal parts storage room and junk pile. What was once a reception desk is covered with wooden boxes of tools and spare parts. The walls have various nails and hooks attached in a seemingly haphazard way, with everything from large hammers to small pliers to a bag of now rotted apples hanging from the walls. Wickerwork mannequin parts, arms, legs, torsos poke from behind the desk, and a mostly assembled mannequin stands in the corner beside the eastern door.
Don't like that.
A hand-lettered sign that reads "Workshop" hangs crookedly from a single nail in the second door to the west, with a second mannequin sitting in a chair next to a sign reading "Water Closet" is nailed to the door behind the counter to the north.
So it's full of junk.
Yes.
Chester,
I do want to squeeze in and try to help Chester with the trap.
Chester will say, before you guys come in here, he's going to close the door, and Chester would like to take some junk, maybe find a piece of wood, and attach it in front of the crossbow so that even if it were to go off, it would stop.
I need you to make a thievery check.
A thievery,
like
I couldn't do a
assistance?
crafting to build a shield in front of it.
Sure.
All right.
Same DC.
All right. Oh, great, because that gives me a 2 bonus.
Oh,
14 on the die for 27.
How many 14s have you rolled?
That's my
Jacob's
third
been rolling
14.
some 14s.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see where the trigger is, and you just see a bunch of these spare parts. You pull out your trusty little hammer, your little Chester hammer, and you go to work. And all the rest of you hear, hold on, and then wham, wham.
He basically nails
Well,
a
there
piece
goes
of
the element
wood
of surprise.
into the ceiling in front of the crossbow. He'll say, you can try to slip through now. If it goes off, it'll hit the wood, so you should still be fine.
I'm still going to try to like squeeze
All
through.
right, roll acrobatics for me.
And you see what this will do is if somebody tries to chase us out of here or we think someone might be coming in, we could break it and the trap can still be used.
That's an 18.
You're successfully slipped past the door.
Is this squeezing?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, because
18
I can squeeze faster.
DC 18 to squeeze through the partially open door.
Yep.
So you're good. I'll move you in the room as well. You move Chester.
There I was going to offer you aid with disarming, but no.
I mean, I
I know, I'm just messing.
Do you want to enter as well, Psyche?
yes.
Are you going to try to sneak past or just walk on in?
Let's give it a go.
18 acrobatics.
8.
You push the door a little too far and it goes click and you hear but you enter.
Quick, close the door! Close the door!
As you enter,
Hang on.
Come in and close
The
the door!
door starts. Psyker starts worming their way through. It gets caught on like a hinge or something. It opens more. That starts making a noise. They jump up into the air. They get all puffy and they do the midair run thing that cats do.
Yes!
Before they start skittering on the floor.
Then Chester will close the door. Slam.
so as you enter, you see all this like junk laying everywhere. You see the just, I think you can even see this cool foundry map that Paizo has, like the just random stuff nailed to the wall. You can see a little bag of apples if you zoom in. That's great.
Can?
Yeah.
Oh, you can! Oh, that's fantastic.
But one of those mannequins, as you enter, you can see it looks like it has like been ripped in different places, and it starts to little light flickers on,
Uh-oh.
and then you hear gear start to, and it stands up and lunges at you guys. Shwum. And that's where we're going to pick up in our next episode.
Oh,
Well, here's hoping Eleanor makes it next episode too.
I think Chester got dart stuck in him. Williams is in a worse place this time around.
I'm only down by 2.
There's a bag of apples?
Just like that boss fight.
Grievously wounded.
Grievously wounded.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. You can also tweet at us using the hashtag Third Gallon, and we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of the podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon. Our theme for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios. And you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.